Hey guys, Kalev here and welcome to another video on Silverblue development. Today we are looking at distro upgrades and fixing GNOME software to correctly support distro upgrades on Silverblue. Oh, and happy Groundhog's Day to all of the Canadians and Americans watching this video. I don't think I've ever actually seen a groundhog in real life, much less in the winter. But hey, have to keep the traditions alive. Okay, so distro upgrades using GNOME software is something we've been doing in Fedora for a while now. And when I say distro upgrades, I mean upgrading from, let's say, Fedora 30 to Fedora 31, upgrading to the next major release. And so far it has worked really well, I think. And if I would have to pick one project that I'm most proud over, of the projects I've done for Fedora, I think that would actually be the distro upgrade support. So the way we did the distro upgrades initially was to use package-kit as the backend. But that doesn't work for Silverblue because we use rpm-ostree directly in GNOME software and don't use package-kit at all. So we had to re-implement all of the backend support. And that's exactly what I did last year already. But there were still a bunch of loose ends. So yesterday I spent figuring out all of the last loose ends and making sure that the distro upgrade support in Silverblue is actually well tested and works correctly. So let me show you what I've done here. Okay, so here I'm logged into my Fedora 30 Silverblue. Before we get started with GNOME software, let me just quickly show you how you could also do the distro upgrade on the command line. So here I type rpm-ostree status, and we can see that I have two deployments here. This is the booted deployment and the other one is a pinned older deployment. So if I wanted to do the upgrade on the command line, the command to use is rpm-ostree rebase. Rebase in rpm-ostree context means switching between two unrelated trees. So in this case, we'd want to rebase from my Fedora 30 tree to a Fedora 31 tree. So I'll just copy paste it and replace 30 with 31. But instead of actually going through with it, let me cancel it and let's go back to GNOME software. So the GNOME software version I'm opening is the one that does not have all the latest fixes. If I now click on the Updates tab, we can see that the Fedora 31 upgrade banner is correctly shown. But if I click on Download, then that quickly fails and it shows an error notification unable to upgrade to Fedora 31 and complains that the Fedora 31 tree is chronologically older than the Fedora 30 tree that's currently installed. Now, this is something that can easily happen if the nightly tree composes are done so that, let's say, Fedora 31 tree is composed a few minutes earlier than the Fedora 30 tree. So that's clearly not an actual error condition that should prevent an upgrade to an unrelated tree. So this was the first thing I've now fixed in GNOME software. The other issue was that when doing the upgrade, the progress bar wasn't moving at all. This made it seem as if the upgrade had gotten stuck, while it actually continued downloading stuff in the background. So the stuck progress bar was another thing I've now fixed here. And the third issue, and that's probably the most serious one, was that once the download was complete and you click install, then it didn't actually deploy the new tree and just rebooted back into the same old system. And that's also something I've fixed now and backported to Fedora 30. So let's go and install the new fixed version. The new GNOME software version is available in Fedora 30 updates testing, but I've already gone ahead and have the RPMs locally downloaded here. One quick tip here is if you want to experiment with the internals of an rpm-ostree system that has /user mounted read-only, is to use a read-write overlay on top of /user. The way to do that is rpm-ostree user overlay. And if I type rpm-ostree status now, we'll see that the currently booted deployment is listed as unlocked development. A super cool thing with the overlay is that it's all just temporary, so I can experiment and mess up the system as much as I want. And once I reboot, all of my changes to /user are gone and I'm back in a pristine system. Okay, so let me just quickly install the new packages. So now, if we go and open GNOME Software again, this is now the version with all the latest fixes applied. If we now go to the Updates tab again and click Download, then this time there shouldn't be an error message anymore, and we can also see that the progress bar is moving nicely along. So this here is actually an area where GNOME Software could use a lot more work. It would be really nice to show the actual sizes that it's downloading and also a numeric percentage value in addition to the visual progress bar. The download is fairly big, so let me quickly just jump over to the end here. Okay, so the download is now complete, so let's just install it. This here is also a spot where GNOME Software could use some more love. It's deploying the new tree right now, but it doesn't actually show anything in the UI that it's doing so. Okay, and now the install is finished as well, and now all that remains is to reboot into the freshly upgraded system. I'll click Restart. Okay, and now the reboot is done, and we are in a freshly upgraded Fedora 31. If we open the terminal again, we can see that rpm-ostree status shows that we have a new deployment here, and that's the Fedora 31. So looks like the upgrade through GNOME Software was a success. I'll put a link to the fixed GNOME Software build down in the description below, in case you guys want to try it out yourself before it hits the Fedora 30 stable repositories. So that was my video for today. Thank you so much for watching. And if you like this one and would like to see more on Silverblue development, please drop a comment down below so I know to make more. And hey, thank you so much to all of the 142 people who subscribed last week. I feel deeply humbled and grateful. Thank you. And hey, if you are new here, please consider subscribing as well. Thank you so much for watching and see you all next week. Bye.